In this lesson, you will learn about comparing decimals. So if we have, I like to use a decimal chart, a place value chart to compare. It helps see where the decimals lay. So if we have the fraction, or the decimal 0 and 5/10 compared to 0 and 3/10. Okay, so I'm going to put that on my decimal chart. We have 0 ones, we have a decimal point, and we have 5/10. Okay, we're going to compare that to 0 and 3/10. So there are no ones. I'm going to start from the left. I compare the ones first. The ones are 0, so that doesn't help me. So I go to my tenths. So I have 5/10 or 3/10. In this case, 5/10 is more than 3/10. You can think of this as money as well. If you put a 0 here, this would be 50 cents and 30 cents. I'd rather have 50 cents than 30 cents. So 5/10 is greater than 3/10. Remember, the big open mouth goes towards the bigger number. The small dot, or the small point, goes towards the smaller number. Okay, let's try another one. How about 0 and 2/10 compared to 0 and 9/100? Many people see this and go, oh, that one's bigger. 9 is bigger than 2. Well, let's put it on the decimal chart here. So we have 0 and 2/10. I'm going to cross these out so I don't look at them. And we have 0 and 9/100. Okay. This is more like 20. This is 20 hundredths, or like 20 cents. This, however, is only 9 cents. It's 9 in the hundredths place. So if we look, 20 is actually larger than 9. 20 hundredths is larger than 9 hundredths because it has 2/10, and 9/100 has 0/10. So 2/10 is actually greater than 9/100 because there are 2/10 in 2/10 and 0/10 in 9/100. Let's try a couple more. How about 5 and 36/100 compared to 5 and 63/100? So we put the ones down first. Decimal 36/100, 5 and 63/100. So the ones are the same. That doesn't help us any. We're going to go to the tenths place. The tenths place, this is 3/10 and this is 6/10. So this is really as far as we need to look. 6/10 is greater than 3/10. So 5 and 63/100 is greater than 5 and 36/100. And again, if you think of it as money, $5.36 is a lot less than $5.63. Let's try one with thousandths. 0 and we'll call it 37 thousandths compared to, that's 37 hundredths compared to 0 and 436 thousandths. So we'll put it in here. Decimal 37 in the hundredths place, 0 and 436 thousandths. Cross those out. So my zeros and the ones are the same, so I go to the next number. The next place value is tenths. 3/10 is less than 4/10. So 37 hundredths is less than 436 thousandths because the tenths are what we're comparing first. And 3/10 is less than 4/10. And that's the end of our lesson on comparing decimals.
And 65 thousandths. The greater number is the alligator's preference. He looks at the place values from left to right. Finds the greatest tenths place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
107 thousandths and 11 hundredths. The greater value is what the alligator gets. He looks at the place values from left to right. Once the greatest hundreds place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
209 thousandths and 4 5/10. The gator eats the one with the greater contents. He looks at the place values from left to right. Four's the greatest one's place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
Now the numbers are the same on both sides. The gator wants to eat, but he can't decide. Neither is greater or less, it's a perfect tie. So the alligator writes an equal sign.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast. The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
If there's a line underneath the greater than sign, greater than or equal to is how the sign is defined. Or write a line underneath the less than sign, and less than or equal to is the name of the design.
Hi there. I'm an alligator, so let's keep this snappy. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that the greater than symbol goes from big to small, and it's called the greater than symbol. The less than symbol goes from small to big, and it's called the less than symbol. The larger number always goes on the open side of the angle. For example, this reads as 50 is greater than 10. And this is read as 10 is less than 50.